Today we are going to discuss another practical of organic chemistry. It is from paper 2, purification of organic compound. So we can purify organic compound by crystallization process or recrystallization process that we are going to discuss. So here we are going to discuss in more detail the crystallization process and how it is performed, what theory behind it that we are going to discuss. So crystallization means actually we form crystals. So the organic compound is converted into crystalline organic compound. So what is crystal? Crystals means having well arranged atoms or molecule in a certain specific structure or in lattices. So this is crystal. So we are going to convert organic compound into its crystal during this process, crystallization. Now see, for crystallization there are actually two requirements, two parts. We divide crystallization process into two parts. First part is what? Solvent selection, very crucial part of this process. Here we have to select a solvent. We can use water, alcohol, benzene, toluene, ethyl acetate, methyl acetate, petroleum ether, etc. Lot of solvents available in the laboratory. We have to select proper solvent for the crystallization. Now, how to select from this big list of solvents, how to select proper solvent for the crystallization process? For the selection of solvent, we use one criteria. What is that? So whatever compound we are going to crystallize should not be soluble in that solvent at room temperature. This is first criteria. So what? We can select only that solvent in which our organic compound, which we are going to crystallize, should not be soluble at room temperature, but it should be soluble at certain higher temperature, probably greater than 10 degrees Celsius. So if the compound is not soluble in that solvent at room temperature, but if it is soluble at certain higher temperature, particularly greater than 10 degrees Celsius, then that solvent is considered as a good solvent for the crystallization process. See what happens. Suppose we have selected water and compound A we have to crystallize. So when we add this compound into this solvent, it is not soluble. But when we increase the temperature by heating it on burner, what will happen? This A is soluble. Now when we cool it, A will reappear because it is not soluble at low temperature. But when we heat it, A is soluble because it is soluble at higher temperature. So that solvent is a good solvent. And usually it is better to select water or alcohol because these are green solvent. Water is very good solvent for the crystallization process because it is green solvent. It is cheap. It is available everywhere. Okay. Sometimes you may select a mixture of solvent. Say for example 50% ethanol, 90% ethanol, or mixture of two other organic solvents. So that is also possible. So once you select a proper solvent, by applying this criteria, you can start crystallization process. Now I am going to discuss crystallization, its theory and its procedure. Now see, when we want to crystallize our organic compound, that organic compound is probably impure. And the purpose of crystallization is to purify that organic compound by removing impurities. So which impurity is there? So the impurity we can divide into two types. Si, soluble impurity, and II means insoluble impurity. What does it mean? Soluble impurity means whatever solvent we select, that impurity is soluble in that solvent easily at room temperature. So it is gone when that impurity is added in the solvent, that will be dissolved. Now see, another impurity may be present in this organic compound, that is insoluble impurity. Insoluble impurity means at even low temperature or high temperature, that impurity is not soluble in that selected solvent. So in this way we have two types of impurities, soluble impurity as well as insoluble impurity. And OC means our organic compound which we are going to crystallize. Now take a solvent, a selected solvent. You can select the container. Even you can perform this experiment in beaker of different size. Even you can perform this experiment in conical flask. Now see, suppose I have taken a beaker of 100 ml capacity. I have taken that solvent, but what is important, you have to take it in minimum quantity, so that you can select how much quantity you needed for the crystallization. Now you take this mixture. In fact, although it is one compound, but Si and II, these two impurities are still there with this organic compound. So when you add into this solvent, what will happen? Si will be completely gone. Si will be completely gone even at room temperature, because it is highly soluble in that solvent. That's why we call it as a soluble impurity. So now see here, organic compound is still there, because that organic compound is not soluble at room temperature. Even II, insoluble impurity, is also there. Only soluble impurity is gone once we add this mixture into this solvent. Right? So second step of this process is heating. You have to heat it on the burner by using your wire gauze if you are working with water. But if you are working with any organic solvent, if that solvent is inflammable, you have to heat that solvent in a water bath. Right? Now see, after heating means you are going to raise the temperature of this solvent. Once that temperature will go beyond that room temperature, definitely this organic compound is soluble. Now in this beaker, after heating, you have soluble organic compound and you have soluble impurity. So this solution is a hot solution. Soluble organic compound and soluble impurity is there in the solution. Now still it is having insoluble impurity. You can remove that insoluble impurity by simple filtration. You just pour this hot solution or filter this hot solution by using a cotton plug. So if you use your cotton plug and if you add this hot solution, what will happen? The solution will come out here, having what? Organic compound and soluble impurity, but insoluble impurity will remain there. So this is insoluble impurity which you have removed. Now in this solution, you have this solution or this solvent having what? Organic compound and soluble impurity at high temperature. You have to cool this flask. You cool it under tap water or in ice. What will happen? Once you decrease the temperature, this organic compound is not soluble at low temperature. This organic compound will reappear, and this will reappear as a crystals. So in this way you can produce crystals, but this soluble impurity will not come back because it is highly soluble into that solvent. So once you get crystals, you have to actually filter by using a filter paper, and after that you will be having a very beautiful crystals here on the paper. Now you can repeat this process. To remove even small trace of other impurities, soluble as well as insoluble impurities. So you can repeat this process for twice or thrice, etc., to get very pure organic compound. Now how will you decide whether the compound is pure or not? So one property is there, that is melting point. So you can take the melting point. If impurity is there, that melting point will be varied. And once you prepare this organic compound after drying, you will get a very sharp and proper melting point. So in this way, by taking melting point, you can find out the purity of the organic compound, whether the compound is pure or not. And this kind of simple procedure you can use for the purification of organic compound. We call it as crystallization or recrystallization. Thank you.